Good morning, police emergency. How may I assist you?
Good evening and welcome to Ghana Police Watch. This evening we are back with another fascinating program in response to your requests and responses, as well as stories trending on social media. Over the last month, one gospel musician, Brother Sami, and Mama G have been arrested for allegedly selling unregistered medicines. Ama Afari from Takwa says, why is the police and FDA allowing these untested medicines to be sold to the public? Do they want them to kill us? Kwame Abuaje from Tema says, as for the love potions, dear, who knows? Isaac Ashong in Tamale says, it's only in Ghana that anyone can just get up and say that they have found a cure for every disease under the sun. Isaka Naba says, please, Police Watch, someone must protect the public from all these charlatans. Isaka, we cannot say they are charlatans because their cases are still being investigated, but it looks like there is now a huge public interest in these cases. If it is any assurance, these alleged unregistered medicines cannot be sold whilst investigations are ongoing. You can call the police to report if the law is being disobeyed. The numbers for the police are 191 or 18555. You can also call Food and Drugs Authority on 029-980-2932 and 029-980-2933. We went out and about to sample public opinion about the love potions. You may be quite surprised by the mixed reactions. Before we do that, however, let's take a look at some videos and social media material. This one is by Brother Sami making claims for his medicines.
Divine healing water in the HIV, stroke, diabetes, cancer, liver, asthma, hepatitis B, another radio. Men facts, you may go to a medium. Go to a main vacancy. Divine healing water. You want to read the whole world. Men am this year do number. A bini baby. Shadio. Say a poison pony cool more. Obanon poison a vision chairman bino. Out of what DDT ponyo. DDT cool a good yama also. Within 2 minutes, as an entity said HIV, a very young one in within 2 minutes. Cancer, I'm not for me as a cancer, I'm not for new wardrobe. Just a man. Divine healing water, very spiritual and yet physical, spiritual divine healing water. And you're very how Fred brothers and HIV, look at me. Your doctor said, within 2 minutes, the rather famous or pass away. Spiritual divine healing water, my God.
Mama G sold both medicines and love potions.
This one is for sweetness and bonding. It will bond the man to you.
As I did my corner, me I know like trouble.
Hey. Once this one enters into your system, that will lie low. Do you want to handle his checkbook? It's Mama G you are talking about too. Have you handled someone's checkbook before? Or say write it and let me sign. What's your program? Magagia is a sex product. It's for men who treat their ladies badly. He's not having time for you. This Magagia product, when you take in, it stays in your system. Your man will be addicted to you. He will do as you say. He will listen to you. If you go to the market and you don't really tell him, baby, please don't follow me. Before you realize, he's holding your basket at your back. That is how effective the herb itself is. That is why I named it Magagia. You will become the original Magagia in your marriage, in the relationship.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
What has attracted a lot of attention for her are products like Marry Me for 120 cedis, Fireman for 100 cedis, Tightener for 50 cedis, Attract Perfume for 160 cedis, and Oga Lilo for 100 cedis.
As I did my corner, me I know like trouble. And if I pray for blessings, oh I pray for double.
We are not sure what Oga Lilo is supposed to do, but there you go.
Bad man don't jealous me. Oh, I get your cafe.
We spoke to the public to learn more. So we started with some simple questions. Do you believe these love potions work?
As for that, it's their own matter and those who believe. But to me, I don't believe.
I believe, yeah, the one that they can use it on their eyebrow. Yeah, we call it kaji. Yes, they have that one too. And also different things.
I don't really think it works. I think people are wasting their time and they are wasting their resources.
I don't think it works. I don't know, but I just don't believe in it. I don't think it works. Women are more desperate of late. Women are more desperate. They go in for men they probably want to get married to, and then they are not sure of themselves. They are not sure if they would like to get married to them. Or sometimes they need money from them and don't give them the money, so they use all these charms too. So I think it is desperation. And sometimes maybe frustration. Because if you want to get married to a man and he's not ready to get married to you, it's like it frustrates you and all that.
I think it's work. Because I've heard several people using that charm to do their things. I know a couple of friends that has been using this medicine and it is working too. Yes, they will start giving you money for no reason because they are falling in love with you.
There should be barriers. It's too easy to enter into such businesses. I think there should be barriers for those who go into such business, the woman herself selling. There should be barriers put in place to make sure that it's not easy to start a business like this.
This is Agbogloshi. We're here at the very busy market that specializes in traditional medicines. By that, Na Adai makes a living selling herbs for all kinds of ailments and diseases. Her knowledge on the medicinal properties of various herbs is simply incredible.
Togo, Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire, fever, typhoid, jaundice, malaria, Port a chemist shop, allo, I'm a herbal shop, say, bien, mamo counter, say no, I can preservatives, a woman. No me den check counter, say no too much, it is harmful to your system. She was no raw, natural.
One of the issues, however, is whether all hair products are registered with the Food and Drugs Authority. Maybe not so. What then are the implications for public health? To answer this and other pertinent issues, we are truly proud to present for the studio discussion two prominent guests from Ghana Police Service and Food and Drugs Authority.
Kofi is arrested on suspicion of committing a crime. He is taken to the police station where he writes a statement and held in custody pending further investigations. The police can only detain a suspect for 48 hours without charge. Kofi's uncle comes in to secure him bail. Uncle accepts a bail bond of 500 Ghana cedis, which he will pay to the courts should Kofi not present himself to the court when requested.
Should I pay for the bail?
No, you don't pay the police. Bail is free. Only make sure Kofi presents himself to the court when requested. Don't pay for bail. Bail is free. Make robbery and theft unattractive. Help stop the robbers and thieves. They come only to steal and deprive you of your valuable property. Did you know that your stolen items are sold cheaply to unsuspecting buyers? Do not make your home or workplace an easy target for robbers and thieves. Protect your property. Secure your electronic gadgets such as TV sets, ghetto blasters, laptop computers, mobile phones, and other valuables by marking them. Permanently mark your items with your name or a unique symbol. This will serve as a disincentive to thieves. Take pictures of your items and write down their serial and model numbers, as well as keep purchase receipts of your property. Also know the special ID number on your mobile phone, tablet or iPad, and remember to inscribe a unique mark on your items. Your ID marks, photographs, receipts, model and serial numbers, and special ID numbers of your mobile devices will help the police to retrieve your items in case they are stolen. Fit your doors with quality locks and secure your windows. Install CCTV cameras if you can afford them and make sure they are working properly. It helps the police to arrest thieves. Know your neighbors and develop a good rapport with them so that you can assist one another in the event of a robbery attack. Do not resist or fight back when robbers demand for your money or other valuables. You may be harmed or killed if you resist. In the event of a robbery, do not touch things around before you call the police. Thieves always leave clues at the scene. This may help in tracing them. Call the police emergency lines on 191 toll-free on all networks and 18555 on Vodafone and MTN for help.
Yes, Dad. I'll be fine.
Yeah, but this is the day tonight. You gotta keep long. A job.
She dey lie bad. It go happen tonight.
They couldn't get in this time.
How come?
Security warehouse.
Smart choice. Crystal clear pictures. Pause.
I think I know this man.
Really?
Make sure you have equipped your house with gadgets from Security Warehouse.
That's great. I have with me ACP Lydia Donko, who is the Director of Legal and Prosecutions at the Ghana Police Service, Accra region. Yes. And then I also have James Latte of the Food and Drugs Authority. He is the Head of Communications. Thank you very much both for making time to join us. And so let's get on into this conversation, which has been topical in recent times. It has to do with people selling some concoctions and making claims that these concoctions can, bring healing to people and can make a difference in people's lives. Now, I want to start with you. When the police gets to hear some of these things, what do you do? This is not the typical crime where there's an armed robbery or somebody is clearly violating the law, but they're selling something.
So if somebody is selling something that's potentially unwholesome or which has something to do with registration and the authority, which is Food and Drugs Authority, if we get information that such a product is out there, we obviously don't have that expertise. So what we do is we immediately contact the Food and Drugs Authority, and I would like to say that we have a good working relationship with that authority. So we get them informed, they come to us, we form a team, and we go in and we make the arrest. But we do all of this all the way to the end till it gets to prosecution.
How do these things come to your notice?
Sometimes we observe ourselves, we notice we have men and women on the ground, or we also get information from the public.
So when you get the information and then you bring in the FDA, so let's just go on to the very first one, which has to do with one, gospel worker, Reverend Brother Sammy. Okay, so he's a preacher man, and he says he's making some claims that he's selling some concoction that can bring healing.
Looking at the issue of Brasami, sometimes it becomes a challenge to the authority where to go in. Is it a spiritual aspect which we do not regulate?
Yeah.
Or is it something that has to do with the products that we regulate? Now, there were 2 videos, if I can remember, that came out when it comes to Brasami issue. The first video I can remember is that a gentleman was interviewing him about a product he claimed he had that could cure AIDS. And In the video, he was asked whether he has sent or has gotten an approval from the FDA. Then his response was, no, this is not a medicine. It is a gift that God had given him and he's using to help people. You won't find the product in any pharmacy shop. It's not anything that has to do with medicine. And you see, if you listen to that video very well, there was no way FDA had jurisdiction within his claim, if you listen to it very well.
All right.
So we did not act until there was a second video. In that second video, he now had a product that he called, I think, Holy Water or Miraculous Water, I've forgotten the name. And he claimed that when you come to him, whether you have hepatitis B, HIV, sexual impotence, he mentioned a number of diseases. He will give you the products, and when you take it, it's going to deal with your problem. And then he demonstrated with DDT. In fact, when FDA saw that second video, we realized that no, this is within our mandate. Because you are talking about where you are now offering the product for sale to the general public. Who knows the content? It is very important that as a regulator, we needed to establish whether the product is safe or not. Secondly, per the law, it says that if you are importing, you are producing or manufacturing, you are selling, distributing any of the products that the FDA regulates, and you are talking about food, drugs, including herbal, cosmetics, medical devices, household chemicals, you need approval from the FDA before you can go to any of these practices. So then we realized that we needed to go in. So immediately, like Madam indicated, we had to inform the police in Kumasi. In fact, before even we informed the police, what we did was that we made a call to Brasami himself. That's what we did.
All right.
But we indicated our interest in the products. So it was there that we got to know that he was in Kumasi. We thought he was in Accra. That's why we got to know he was in Kumasi. So we asked for the location. He gave us the location. Immediately, we informed our officers in Kumasi. They informed all the district police in Kumasi. So they released one police CID officer together with FDA officer, and they went to the premises. They purchased the products. He wasn't there himself. So it was after they purchased the product that they had a confirmation that truly the guy is into business, commercial.
Then I'm wondering, how about holy water and Florida oil or those kind of substances that they sell? Shouldn't the FDA be regulating?
When you pick a product like Florida water falls, I think, under cosmetics, which I think is registered with the FDA. Even olive oil is registered with the FDA.
So the Florida water is registered. Yes. So you don't have a problem if they're using just the Florida water.
I need to confirm with olive oil. I can confirm that olive oil is registered.
Okay.
Florida water, I need to confirm whether it's a registered product, but it falls under cosmetic, which should be registered. You understand? Again, let me mention this. When, for instance, you offer for sale any of the products that fall within our jurisdiction, you have to first get clearance from us before you sell the products.
Okay.
If you are in a church, and I need to make this thing very clear,
because it is very important.
Let's assume you go to church and a pastor says, anybody that is in this room who has a problem with maybe AIDS, come forward. You move forward. He said, I have this water. I'm giving to you. I prayed over it. Go and drink it. Your ailment is going to go away. You know, when you look at it in this context, you could see a pure spiritual aspect of it. So here you see the water being used as a medium.
All right, so you talk about the fact that if the pastor gives you this water, it's spiritual. But you're supposed to ensure whether this water that's being given to the person is wholesome. How do you check that? Or have you tested?
If FDA begins to move in this direction, it means that we have to be in every church. And be checking these things. Let's be.
Otherwise, you ask the churches to come and register these things.
What happens is that if, for instance, a church is commercializing a product.
Is it commercializing? Do we have to get to the point where they're commercializing? If they're offering items to people, large numbers of people, come and take this holy water and it will heal you.
Yeah.
They are going to consume it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't the FDA be finding out if whatever they are consuming is wholesome?
You see, it then becomes similar to we saying that I'm in my house, I'm cooking. Has FDA checked the food that you are giving to the people in your house? No. Let's look at it very well, because you see,
I don't know if you're getting my point.
You know, it's an interesting issue. If we don't take care, we'll go beyond our jurisdiction as an authority. I must be honest with you. I remember when this issue came up, we've had calls where people have told us about some TV stations to watch, and that they are offering products to the general public for sale, which we started monitoring. If we look at it and we discuss with the legal team in our office, and they feel that this falls within our jurisdiction, we'll act on it. Otherwise, we'll just be moving.
Let me bring in this point again. If you're saying that if the pastor is just offering it, not really asking for money, then that's fine. Then Brad Sammy or others who are involved in it will decide that I'm not going to sell it, but I'll ask you to make a donation after I've given it to you. So then Brad Sammy can claim that if I'm giving you the product and I'm not asking for money, you can't take me to court.
I need to I don't know whether to use the word, make a correction here. When you look into our law even tells us that when people are even bringing donations, once the products fall within our jurisdiction, we need to investigate, because you are offering to a third party. You understand? You are offering to a third party. They are going to take it. And our protection is to the general public. So I will say that as and when the issue happens, as an authority, we need to look at it and see whether we can go in or it falls within our jurisdiction. We need to look at it that way. But we can't make a blanket statement whether every product, once it's water. No, we have to be careful.
Once you're going to, not so much if it's water, but once you're going to consume.
Yes.
Once you're going to put it on
your skin. We need to look at it very well.
Okay. So it's possible that at some point you may come back and say,
yes, it's very possible.
Well, you have to go into the churches.
Possible.
Now, still talking about Brother Sammy's issue, where are we? Can you give us an update as far as the police is concerned?
The police in Kumasi handling that particular matter should have made progress in it. If the investigations went to the extent that they found out that he has a manufacturing system, or like he's producing in large quantities, that one, it infringes the law, the Public Health Act. So they would have to arrest and then eventually prosecute him on that.
Yes, I spoke to our officer in Kumasi, that was just this Monday, and she informed that the police is still doing the investigation, but they are now taking the sample to be tested, and they'll pick it up from there.
So if it's an investigation, can he continue to sell?
No. Once it's an investigation, you cease operation. You cannot continue to sell.
That's interesting.
Yes.
It takes us to the next subject or the next video, which has to do with the famous or infamous Mama G.
Okay.
Where does the FDA come in? Because there's this lady who says, selling of, same way you indicated that it has to do with faith when it comes to the churches. He says, I'm giving you a product that would help you, or that will help you get any married man you want, that would help you get a man who's going to sign off his checkbook, sign off his money to you. He's going to give you money, he's going to take care of you. And where do you come in?
Now, when you look at the products that Mama G is using, you realize that she has cosmetics, household chemicals, that is soap, we falls under our jurisdiction. She mentioned herbal products, we fall under our jurisdiction. Let me give you a background.
And she's been arrested, by the way.
Yes, she's been arrested.
And maybe
But
granted bail.
yes,
She's been granted bail.
Yes. You know, about a month ago, our officers went to the premises of Mama G when we heard of her activities. We realized when we called her that the products she was dealing in, they fall within our jurisdiction. She had posters there advertising her activities and things. We asked her to pull all down. Asked her to come and regularize her activities. That is, make sure she come and register the products. You see, as a regulator, people are into business. As much as you want to enforce the law, you help bring them into compliance.
All right.
That's what we do. For 1 month, Mama G never stepped the place, and the activity continued. Even she increased her presence on social media. I mean, doing a whole lot of things. We consulted the Ghana police, had discussion with them, and we agreed that no, we needed to act on this. So they assisted us, went to the premises I did last week, Wednesday, and we got her place closed down. Currently, the police is doing their investigation into it. But this is what I can say about that.
Now, when you approach these people who say, essentially, it involves a bit of charm. They're using charms and all that. Don't you worry that they could cast a spell on you?
Not at all.
You don't worry.
Not at all.
You just go in
we
there.
don't work with charms.
At what point are we? You say you're investigating.
Yes.
What is it that you're investigating? What are you seeking to find?
Remember that FDA, we do not regulate issues of charm and things. But the products that she's using are being, are being used either on the skin, people are taking it in, people are bathing with it, or of that nature. It could create any problem. So in the investigation, we need to establish a whole lot of things. But let us remember, what the law says is that you cannot manufacture, you cannot import, you cannot distribute, you cannot sell any of these products unless you have been given approval by the Food and Drugs Authority. So even without testing the content, already there's a law that's been infringed by offering for sale, producing, whilst you don't have the license to do that. So that alone is an offense. Now, if the product is tested and is found to contain any harmful substance, or the fact that it's not wholesome, or could create a problem, that's another offense. So let us look at it.
So you're looking at it on several fronts.
Several fronts. Again, she was into promotion. That's advertising. And it's so clear in the law that you cannot advertise any of these products that FDA regulates unless you have sought an approval from the FDA before you can go ahead and advertise it.
Now, she's going on, following her release on bail, she has posted another video where she talks about the fact that she's done nothing wrong and that she's mixing some herbs and coke. And she says she's inviting her customers to still come to her and that they're fine, they can come in and buy. Shouldn't, because Mr. Latia has already indicated that she can't continue selling, as in the case of Brasami.
Yes.
They can't continue selling whilst the end of investigations. Shouldn't the police then be moving in?
Okay, so now that this information is out, we will definitely have to move in, because when the FDA and the police go in, what they do is normally they board the place up, they lock it up. If it's a padlock, so you're not going to get access into it. But if she's still being bold and coming out and saying that people should come, then that is information for us, which we are definitely going to move on to. So we'll look into that.
So again, as you indicated in the case of Brasami, she cannot continue selling.
No, she cannot continue. She cannot.
But then what do you do with all the customers of Mama G in Brasami who have come to believe in the product and have gotten others to believe in it? What do you do about them? Because they believe that these people are satisfying a need and they are happy with it.
So for Brasami and Mama G, they obviously have been arrested. We are investigating. So in those particular cases, our duty would be to inform the public, let people know that this case is under investigation. So, for example, she can't go back to her shop, even if she's inviting customers. Then it's our duty as our public affairs department to put out, for example, a press release or a media release and let people know that you have to desist from visiting the shop or patronizing those products until whatever investigation is concluded and all of that.
FD, you're dealing with people, customers, who say they are happy with the product, and you're shutting down the business of the people who are supposed to be meeting their needs.
You know, sometimes it becomes worrying when, for instance, a regulator is taking an action to protect the general public with a very good mind, and then maybe people just go against that and continue to patronize the product. Well, you see, it's the choice of the general public. Like Madam rightly said, we just have to alert the general public. This is the action we have taken. I remember the release that FD brought out. It was clear in it that the general public is advised not to patronize these products until otherwise. We give that advice. Right. And it's purely to protect the general public. So I will re-emphasize that we are advising the general public not to patronize these products until investigation is ended and we have come out to say that the product is awesome and people can use.
Now, in your attempt to enforce this, you clamp down on Mama G, you clamp down on Brasami, but there's several other people who are selling these products. If you go out to the market, there are people at Agboblushi and the rest who sell herbs, which you don't regulate. How is it that they are allowed to operate? And Mama G, because she's out there, she puts it out on social media, you go after her.
FDA, together with Ghana Police, we have embarked on a number of swoops. I remember we did some at Madina, Okanshi, Tema Station, Agboboshi, and we arrested a lot of people. With Agboboshi 1, I remember about 26 people were arrested. The police processed them to courts. But if my mind serves me right, they were all released that they were first-time offenders. I can remember very well. You know, the first-time offenders, so they were all released and warned not to go into that practice. Those products that were seized at Agboboshi, these Botox enlargement creams, they were selling a whole lot of products.
Botox enlargement creams.
Penis enlargement, Botox enlargement, a whole lot of products. We took them to the lab. When we tested them, we found that some contained lead, some steroids, and other chemicals that were dangerous with the aphrodisiacs in them. I remember very well that there was one that was tested contained sildenafil. Sildenafil is the ingredient that is in Viagra. And the one we tested had about 10 times the strength in Viagra, which if you use, it's going to create a problem for you.
10 times the potency of Viagra.
I'm telling you. So what FDA did was that we issued a press statement and warned the general public not to patronize these products. The challenge is this: you do a swoop, you arrest the people, you move from the scene. Within the next 2 hours, you see a new group there. And is it sustainable? Is it something that every time you can be going to get them arrested?
Is that why you've left them to continue doing their business?
We still be doing it, but the point is that we believe we should do a lot of public education. So when the general public understand the dangers involved in the usage of these products, when there's no demand, there will not be supply. So if the general public decides that we are not patronizing these products, automatically, this is really the system. So that's the approach that we are taking now.
Now, when it comes to the herbs themselves, what is the certification process? Because we know that there's a Mampong Herbal Institute at Mampong. Do they come to you for certification, or by the products they produce themselves, they're certified?
No, Mampong, any product that they put on the market, they seek approval from the FDA. You see, they will test the products, every herbal product. So for instance, if you want to register your products with the FDA, you take samples to Mampong to test it for you. The results is part of the requirements that we look at
for FDA
for us to give you
certification.
approval.
Okay.
But your final approval that you need to sell on the market is from FDA. That's how it is.
So the fact that you take a product to Mampong and get analysis done does not mean that
you can sell the product. No,
sell the
you
product.
cannot. You cannot.
But
You
this is happening. There are people who say, I've sent it to Mampong.
I know Mampong, the institution themselves, have warned people that you cannot use a certification to go and sell products. They've warned on that.
This whole herbal area appears to be a very problematic area because there are some who will take their products to Mampong, all right? Others who won't take them there. And there are others too who are traditional herbalists. Are they also required to get certification from you?
Now, when it comes to the traditional herbalists, you are talking about, like, let me use the word, like a treatment facility where it has a premises. You come there, you mix the concoctions for you, and then you go and drink. That one doesn't fall actually under the FDA. You see, we have to look at it very well. You are talking about a practice issue. We have practice. It's like someone going to hospital. And then when you get to the hospital, the doctor will look at you and then maybe or prescribe one or... So you see, we don't regulate the clinics. But when it comes to the products that they manufacture out there, what we do is that we make sure that the products that they are giving out are products that are be certified by us. You know, it's an area that, I'll use the word, is a bit problematic that is still being resolved.
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
Okay. Because in this case, if you're talking about the traditional herbalists are giving out the products to the people.
Yes.
And
but you see, I remember, let me take you back to this woman, late Seminshia. I don't know whether I can remember. That woman is a herbalist, Akaswa. She's dead now. She was into practice. And then she started advertising. So the FDA started investigating her. And then we realized that she was putting up the products and she's actually selling the products. So it wasn't like you come and mix something, drink it. But now it's packaged, labeled. So we said no. So we made her register all her products at the facility. So it depends. So we need to look at it.
So staying with these traditional herbalists, is it the case, you say that the FDA is looking at, is it the case that the FDA is just deciding that this is too vast or vague an area, so would rather stay away?
You know, we have the alternative and traditional medicine directorate under the Ministry of Health. And they look so much into this thing. So there's a way we are trying to collaborate to find a way to get a very good regulation when it comes to these areas that appears a bit gray. So that collaboration is going on. And so I'll be able to monitor and handle things rightly. Otherwise, you enter a place, anything at all could be given to you. FDA will say that, oh, this is not a packaged product, so we may keep quiet about it. Meanwhile, what you may be giving out may be dangerous. So there's a way we are collaborating to make sure that all this is...
Could it be the case that the FDA, you know, is worried about moving into a traditional herbalist, you know, shrine, and they being, you know...
We note that we are just careful to be sure that we are not entering into the area of practice. Our area is supposed to be products and not practice. And that's what we are careful about.
But where the practice is giving out products.
Yes, that's why now we need to collaborate to find a way to deal with it and deal with it very well.
Now, coming to the police, how do you prosecute some of these things? Because it has to do with, as I indicated, faith, people's faiths. What do you take to court?
We take offenses to court. So if your faith is related to the offense, once we find the offense in either our Criminal Offences Act or with respect to what we are discussing, the Public Health Act, which is clear on the offences, we definitely will take you to court. Because my colleague said you don't advertise, you don't manufacture, you don't produce things which have not been certified. And the law is clear on that. So we have a number of cases we've even started prosecuting in that regard.
How easy it is to prosecute some of these things?
Once we do our investigation properly, we go to the extent of getting products tested, and if it comes out in the results or the reports that this is unwholesome or this is fake or this is not good for the public to consume, we are able to get convictions. So either imprisonment or a fine, those are the options.
Have there been any successful imprisonment?
We have one case that I'm informed that the accused person was convicted and sentenced to 15 years. Yes, he was selling uncertified drugs. Yes, and then we have some others which are still ongoing. So we are making progress. Yeah.
One other area that comes up a lot of the time, and there was this video that was trending about a year ago or so. You see a young man who was selling some concoction believed to be alcoholic, and they said it had they put in nails. Is the FDA looking at what goes into the production of some of these things?
Yes, when it comes to alcoholic beverage, you know, in actual fact, in all the products that we regulate, there are standards that we use. Once you bring the product out and we check and it's within the permitted standard, we'll definitely give you approval. Once it's safe, it's of that quality that is expected, we'll give you the approval. And those are the things that we check. So I can assure you that any alcoholic beverage that we've approved is safe. Safe, not safe as drinking overdose.
Okay.
But you know, safe as in its content. Once we've approved, I can say that people should be assured.
If it's not approved, because there are lots of these products out there that are not approved, but people are buying and consuming, and we're learning that some of these, you know, brewers or distilleries will use nails in the, you know, distilling of these alcoholic beverages. Some, I'm told, use omo.
Well,
it's as if they want to give you the biggest punch from the drink.
Well, you see, this is the first time I'm hearing this. But what I can say is that
the omo or the nails?
All of them, both of them. It's the first time I'm hearing this. But the point is this: once the products will come to us, and we'll check, and it will be tested, and it's of the acceptable standard, there's no safety issue. No problem. Once we approve, no problem.
If it doesn't come to you?
That's where the challenge is. You understand? But I will advise that the general public should just make sure that products that they consume are registered with the FDA. And you realize that always, I'm talking about locally made products, you see the FDA registration numbers on them. If you have any doubt, you can call the FDA, you can call the police if you have any complaint. And then we pick it up from there.
There are all these people who go about also in buses and the rest, and essentially what you're telling us is that they can't go about their business if it's not registered by the FDA.
No.
Is the police, or what do you expect the public to do when they encounter some of these people?
So the advice, and we keep doing that people should generally be alert and be conscious of whatever they are taking in or using. So, for example, the FDA cannot be everywhere, but fortunately, the Ghana Police is in every district, every station, every division. So people should see the police as that medium that they can go to and report such issues. So what we do is, at whichever region, I believe the FDA would have branches all over the country. So if you report to the police, I expect that the police CID in that area should pass this information on. And as I said, the collaboration has always gone on very good. So when we get that, we inform them and then we get in. So if somebody on a bus, for example, and he stops off at a station, you know, and he gets off, you never know. You can always inform if it's the bus driver. There's police all over on the road, you know, or even it's at the bus stop. There are police stations at various locations. Just inform, and then expect that they pass on the information, then it's looked into.
But that is when you know that whatever product they're selling has not been certified by the FDA.
I need to make a comment here and commend the Ghana police for the way they've assisted the FDA. I'll be honest with you, I've had several cases where the police, they've called me. We've seen this truck loaded with these products. We've arrested a guy. Please check whether the product is registered. And I'm not talking only in Accra.
All right.
Even the regions, they call my number.
Okay.
And they give me this information. So for collaboration with the police, it's been very fantastic.
All right.
And they've been very assistant to everything.
Can the members of the public call the emergency line with such reports?
Yes, and they are always responsive. So those emergency lines actually work.
So you actually call the police emergency line and say, I've seen this person selling some concoction, and I doubt if it's registered. So you call the police. I'm feeling that the police.
So the police emergency line, which is in our control room, will get in touch with the district police or station, whichever area it's in, you know, because we're all connected on that medium. So you make that contact, and we all have CIDs within our various districts and divisions. So that case can definitely be looked into if we really wanted to look into. So we shouldn't think that maybe you call the police, it will be ignored. Because now I think the awareness is that people are becoming more conscious of whatever they are using and taking in and things like that. And this collaboration we are talking about is good for people to know that, oh, really, the FDA works with the police. So going forward, I believe that people should now be more interested in doing all of those things. Yes.
I can see a number of viewers out there who are watching this show and they're asking themselves, really, they expect us to call the police and report about somebody selling some fake products because they don't think that the police will be interested in taking it.
Well, we will be, and I think people should take interest in that, because the bigger picture is that you are saving lives. You are saving lives, because you might be taking in something you think is working, but in the long term, you'll be causing damage to organs or something like that. Exactly. So I think it's good. It's the whole business about saving lives and warning people about other things which might not be good. Yeah.
Now that we have you here, ACP Donko, there's this issue not quite related to what we're talking about. It has to do with recent robberies where people are captured on CCTV, and you're the director of legal, you're the head of legal and prosecutions at the Accra region, and so some of these instances have come to your attention. One of them has to do with this 3 fairly old men who go about and mislead people. They're more like into carjacking of a sort, but they're unassuming because you think they're old. What can you tell us about that?
Okay, so this particular case happened around the 15th of July this year. And these men drive around town, the East Legon Airport area, that kind of area. They drive around town, they look out for example, cars that are parked in obscure areas or even in open areas, you know, and then if they realize and monitor that the people or the drivers are not in the car, if they're able to get close and they see that there's a laptop in the car or there's a bag, they either break the glass, break into the vehicle, or use some means to open the car and then quickly take out your bag or whatever possessions, and then they speed off. So in this particular case, we were lucky because the area where that pickup was parked had a CCTV just close by. So when it occurred, we got the information, we went back to the CCTV, and fortunately it captured the vehicle of these criminals. And with a good collaboration of DVLA, we were able to get the registration of the vehicle. So everybody is registered with DVLA, your number, your name. So we got their name which went with that registration. And the good thing was that the man said, oh no, I sold this car to this guy.
Oh.
Yes. So when we got the details of the person he sold the car to, then apparently he was one of the criminals. Wow. So we got him, and then he got us the other accomplices. So they are currently before court, yes. And even other districts will be coming for them for further prosecution, investigations.
So clearly this is an instance where CCTV footage helped in apprehending criminals.
Yes, it was very, very beneficial for us in our investigation, because if it wasn't there, it would have been difficult for us to identify them because they did it and then the vehicle moved away. And I don't think the complainant or the owner of that vehicle that was broken into was able to see that vehicle and the people in it. So the CCTV greatly assisted. So the advice for the general public and for businesses and even churches, you know, now that's the way to go. Yeah. Because the police can't be everywhere. And people, although people are around, people might not be so observant. So if you have this technological device that can help us, you know, to apprehend criminals, it's a good thing. So if it's fixed, and the other thing I must mention is that there should be somebody who should be tasked to monitor and ensure that these CCTVs are working. So for example, if there's a battery that has to be changed, you know, because sometimes we've had incidents where we've gone and the CCTV purportedly is supposed to be recording, but we look and then it didn't record. So that becomes a challenge as well. So as part of security measures, if you're a business, if you are a church, somebody should be tasked to, you know, make sure that that device is working, so that if there's a robbery or there's a break-in or there's stealing or anything of that sort, we can quickly resort to it and then it would help us.
All right, ACP Lydia Donko, I'll take that as your wrap-up final comments. And then to you, Mr. James Latte.
Yeah, we just want to advise the general public that any information that they get in connection with the areas of our regulation, they should alert the FDA or they can even inform the Ghana police. And we also have a hotline that I'll just put out quickly.
All right.
0299 802 932 and then 0299 802 933. Or else you can send us a short code on 4015, all networks.
4015.
Yes.
So you can send a text message to that short code. Yes. Just mention the numbers again.
0299 802 932.
All right.
And 0299 802 933. And the short code is 4015.
All right. Thank you very much, James Latte and ACP Lydia Donko for joining us for this conversation. And thank you too out there for watching. It's hope you've enjoyed the show and you make time for another edition next week. Have a good night.